Good evening, and welcome to another scene in the living world of darkness, a crossover venue between the hunters and the vampires. Tonight, we open our scene, or we start our scene, in a small diner in the middle of New York. It's somewhat non-disclosed. It's not a big place, and especially not at this time. There isn't really anyone. It was almost as if you would somewhat say that perhaps someone has chosen this place, knows that this place is more or less empty. Um, but yeah, small diner. Um, our resident doctor has she's tonight gotten a message, and there's been a little bit of correspondence. Very few words, but few words between the two. For the first time in quite a while. To meet her here at a time. And this is where we will begin our scene.
And with an agreement that Natalia will not kill her tonight, Rebecca has happily agreed to show up. She shows up in full business gear, not even business casual, but quite professionally dressed. As though she's been... The mental image of her walking the street is not your typical New Yorker necessarily. She comes in high heels and looking crisp and put together and dressed up for some reason. She's got a purse with her, and she looks around for Natalia.
Natalia is not here at the moment.
Okay. She goes to the counter and gets herself some tea.
Mm-hmm.
And finds a seat.
Yeah. You'll sit down and, tea will be indeed served. Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes will go by. And then Natalia will enter in full get-up, shall we say. She's wearing like a mohawk. Her hair is done up. And she's in, a little bit more than your normal attire. And she enters. She looks tense. Yeah, tense. We'll go with tense. She looks quite tense. As she just walks in, and like she has her boots on. She's in full punker getup. What might lie in that? The fact that she's in full punk getup? Who knows? But she just locks eyes with you, and she just says, "Large Coke, please." And as she just walks by, and she goes over and sits down.
Becca's watching her intently. There's kind of a delighted look on her face, like she definitely wasn't expecting Natalia to turn up in full regalia, but the fact that she did just tickles Rebecca pink, and she's trying not to grin. Pretty affectionately as Natalia comes strutting over.
Yeah, the drink will be placed. The server, a middle-aged man, like 40s. He takes in the, shall we say, the scenery. He seems as though something's off. Clearly, by these two mismatched people. He does take a moment where he just looks at both of them. And then Natalia would just turn her head, look at him, just like, I do believe that if you have to look more, sometimes it costs money. I don't know. And he just kind of shakes his head and says, sorry, and just heads back. She watches him go, and then she turns her head back and she says, so, we need to talk about the betrayal and stuff?
You look amazing.
Nice try. Yeah.
I understand.
Look, I was open to you. Um, Not exactly by my volition, since you put two and two together, but apparently you had help, and, well, it wasn't too hard for you to put two and two together because there were certain details omitted, shall we say. Details I think I shared with you, but you didn't share with me. So I'm kind of at an impasse.
What details do you think I've omitted?
She leans in a bit. She says that you're not just a normal human being. That something makes you quite different.
She leans in and props her elbows on the table, wraps both her hands loosely around her cup. I wouldn't say I'm quite different. I would say that things have changed for me, yes.
But you
I
are
don't
perhaps not like me, but you are definitely not just another normal person.
I don't know much about who I am now. I'm still learning, and I think that you have the wrong impression. I don't know what Max told you.
Oh well, from what he told me, well, it's not, you're, you're good. From what he told me, you were actually pretty fair about it and not, well, you acted as I would expect you would, honestly. So that's good. It was your friend that was mm, hostile.
She's left the city.
That's
Don't
probably very,
take
very
me.
wise.
I thought maybe so.
I mean, she just, like, she doesn't open her phone, but she just, like, shakes her phone in the air and just wiggles it. She says, given what you sent me of messages, well, we both know exactly how serious whatever the fuck we are in the middle of is. So, I want to be frank. But I've told you before, I have to be very careful as well. So,
I understand.
but can I? Some people would probably say that I should have learned by now and I should, close up loose ends and should do what you feared or wanted me to assure you that I wouldn't do. But honestly, fuck those people. You understand that, right? I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, given sure something happened, but you shouldn't really have to ask. I've hurt people, sure, but I still have not ever done what you said. I'm going to hold it off as long as possible.
Thank you. For many reasons that still means a lot to me. I'm sorry if I offended you by asking. It seemed a pertinent question still. You know a lot about me.
You know even more about me than I do about you.
Do I?
Oh yeah. Max described your friend as doing quite some things that, or at least one thing that was. She quiets down a bit. She says superhuman, so it's not heard by the clerk or the employee. I mean, she's making overly sure, so it's
Sure.
not necessary, but she does.
Rebecca's eyes kind of close and she says, she and I are very, very different. Not just in our approach to life. I guess we technically have the same problem, she and I, but I shouldn't tell you this. I should just let you worry. But I can't do what she did.
So there is differences between you two, as there is differences with my kind. That's always good to know.
I don't even know if we can be said to have a kind. We found each other, and that was a small miracle in its own.
Hmm.
And I've found ways to. Well, it's not like you. No traditions, no. I don't know what you have, but it seems as though, for better or for worse, your people go back a long, long way.
Yeah, they do. Well, we do. Still don't really technically feel as though I am one of them, but
I
never mind.
understand.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't.
Like, you pretty much told me, like, that you've seen shit, but I put a lot of trust in you, and you should have put a lot of trust in me, but, well, I suppose you did. I mean, you did let me into your. Perhaps I'm being unfair, honestly. You did let me back into your apartment. Did. Look, I don't want to seem grateful, but I talked with. Well, you now know that, Max is. Him and I had a talk that I should just stop seeing you because, the dangers in it.
What an asshole. No offense.
Well, kind of, yeah. He is kind of an asshole, but, the right kind of asshole.
It's part of his charm. Still,
Natalia smiles a bit, quirks a grin, but then she just kind of hides it, tries to hide it. You can roll a perception empathy if you want to.
okay. Are we set up in a dice? Oh, I don't know how to Discord out. Hang on.
Oh, crap. Yeah, we're not. I don't think so. It would just be an extra dice roll as the one. Extra dice roller one, I think.
Fabulous. 1 second. I'm loading. Okay. Or successes.
You're quite sure that when you say when she says the right kind of asshole, smiles, and when you say part of his charm and she agrees, there is a bit
Aw.
of, there is definitely affection in her eyes as she says that. It would seem that the two of them are good friends, at least.
Got it. Rebecca is gonna try and hide a smile. Quite successfully. She pretends she didn't notice.
Doesn't seem so.
She just nods. I meant everything that I said about not being a danger to you. I said similar things to Emma. And she betrayed me. Perhaps even more profoundly than she betrayed Max.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
still trying to figure out what that means.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. But, yeah.
You obviously have no need to be sorry. And I appreciate you reaching out to talk to me. If you need not to. If I shouldn't contact you again, say the word and I will leave you alone.
Me and
Promise.
Max agreed that would probably be best. But now that I know a bit more that you're not, well, normal, and that's probably the reason why you talked with me at all, and continued to talk with me. And again, maybe this is a very, very, very long and devious plan to have me completely at your mercy and then turn coat, but honestly, the trust I put in you and how at ease I feel, if that will cause me grief down the line, honestly, I can't say that I would have it any other way.
Likewise. This was an eye opener. A reminder of how dangerous the game that I have played has been. But knowing you and Max gives me hope in a very bleak landscape.
Natalia just looks her over again. Just, do you want to get out of here?
Sure, absolutely. She
And
packs up her stuff.
yeah, Natalia similarly just, you know, lifts up, like, gets her bag, and they'll get out. You'll see that you didn't hear a motorcycle, and it seems as though Natalia's gotten here by taxi. Um, She's not had. She's not been here. It seems.
Mhm.
She calls a cab, and she will. She'll give the. And she'll actually look at you, and she'll just say, "Your place or the what? Do you have preference?"
No, you're welcome to come over.
And she'll give Rebecca's address. And soon after, uh, they will arrive. Cat protocol will be done, I think.
Mhm.
And yeah, Natalia just comes in, and she'll just say, "You know, this is such a bad idea for so many reasons, but I do really, really appreciate being here."
It is a bad idea.
Yeah,
I am well aware of the danger that we are both in.
I'm assuming they're sitting at the couch.
Yeah, she's kicked off her shoes and pulled her hair back and offered Natalia something to drink if she wants it.
No, she politely declines. She just says, "So, mm, a friend like you is rare, you know. Back in the day before all of this, uh, I wouldn't, I would never have like even talked with someone like you. I don't think so, but
Why's that?
I'm more likely to just, you know, I was a lot more. Well, I'm still am impulsive. Don't get me wrong, but at the time I would probably just, you know, jump your bones and then move on, kind of. I was, you know, I had quite a few friends from once, you know, from time to time. So sleeping in one place, then another, then another. I mean,
That seems like it would make it difficult to form strong bonds.
yeah, which goes so far to say it was impossible.
She nods.
She moves a little closer. But despite all of this, I have become your friend.
She nods. Strong bonds are important to me. I hope that at least this much of you that's changed is good.
Not sure yet myself, but thanks. I also believe for me to stay in control as much as I am, staying me, I have to. Not that it was impossible for me before, but meaningful connections with people was just not something I did. But perspectives change, and now it's more important to me. So now I have them, and now well, I have this one, really. Well, a couple of more, but most of those, well, all of those are with, and she just points at her mouth.
Oh, I see. Yes, I understand. It's hard when There's no one who quite understands your experience,
What?
especially as secretive as you have to be.
Yeah.
Lest some crazed maniac have a fit of jealousy in a bar and try and stab you.
Mhm. Jealousy or something else?
I don't know. Jealousy is the nicest thing I can attribute it
Okay.
to.
Got you.
She probably thought somehow that she was protecting me. Or at least that's probably what she's telling herself.
That's what she is telling herself. Has nothing to do with you. Not really.
No.
She betrayed your trust. My advice would be to move on. But hey, I'm not going to say what you should do or shouldn't do.
She nods. I have made sure she moves on. Or at least I hope she has. There's always the chance that she'll show back up in the middle of the night and try to finish what she started, but
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
no, I hope not.
But, well, for the moment, let's just assume that she's left.
Yes.
Where does that
Yes.
leave the two of us? We're still friends. Despite the fact that you earlier tonight asked, please don't kill me, which is kind of fucked up, but the fucked up part is that it's totally logical for you to say so, which I really don't appreciate, but I get it.
It's kind of a weird look on her face. Um, that she's probably not necessarily aware that she has. It's subtle, but it's just kind of a deep worry. I wouldn't have thought that killing was on the table.
And yet you asked.
No, I apologize. I'm not blaming you. It's not your fault. Max Max is different than you. I think that my friendship with him is more dangerous. He's more likely to decide that the risk isn't worth it. If Emma had attacked you, I, I would have had. Well, I really can't afford to be arrested for murder right now.
Right.
But it's very hard to think about that sort of thing when there's blood in the room.
I know.
I, you're very rare, aren't you?
I try my best. Thank you very much. There's a bit of a She cocks a grin, as she takes that as indeed as a compliment. It just kind of
It's,
relaxes a bit, stretches out on the couch a bit more.
I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say that that's something that I treasure, but it is. Don't tell Max that. I think it's probably best you don't tell Max that.
Why
I
is
don't know
that?
what he'd make of it, but he seems pretty paranoid.
You wouldn't think that there would be another reason he would be. Think that's a problem?
Like what?
You tell me. I mean, you're quite good at judging. I mean, you've got some points about Max. I was wondering, like, what would your, I don't know, professional or just personal opinion be if what might, like, what is the relationship between me and Max, between me and the others, me and, like, do you have any thoughts on it? I'm just curious.
I'm also curious. I feel like asking that would be out of line, would be too invasive.
Uh, I think we got past that when, yeah. If you want to ask, ask. You
Do you
shouldn't
hide it
really
from
just.
them?
You shouldn't just like, oh, that might be offensive. Like, you find out if it's offensive, but you have to ask such questions. I mean, the point in hiding it. Honestly, well, that's at least that's my opinion.
Well, just know that you are more than welcome to say no. I can't tell you that. But do you hide it from them? From others?
Of
That you're
course,
not a
it's
killer?
well, I don't advertise, but let's just say I've done quite violent things, but I try to help out. I don't want my friends to die. I don't want myself to die, so I'll defend myself. But there are ways of making sure that people go away, and I think there is a difference between hurting someone so they can't follow you and then killing someone outright.
Yes. Yes, there is definitely a difference.
Well, there you go.
So you've managed to walk a very fine line between being seen as weak and betraying your own conscience.
I let people know what they think and what they feel quite well, immediately. So,
Ah,
believe it or not, people don't see me as weak for some reason. Smiles again. But then again, like, if you think about it, a lot of weak people can kill people quite easily with a gun or because they feel like they're right and really, well, maybe they're not even convinced. Maybe they're just like, I'm right, but I can't argue with the other person, so I have to kill them. That's actually pretty weak when you think about it. It's all a matter of character. What is exactly your character, and at least that's my sense of it. I approach it from I know what they stand for, I know what I want to do, and I'll fight for my freedom. And I'll fight for others' freedom to have theirs. And if people can get behind it, they'll get behind me. And so far, a lot of people seem to agree. And
Hmm.
I do what I have to, but I will try to make certain that I don't kill people. And thus far, I've been doing, quite honestly, as good a job as I can since I haven't done it yet.
I
It's not
hope you know
something
how
that
rare that is.
I know.
Not
It's quite rare. I haven't really met anyone else who does it.
not just I don't just mean she actually reaches out and kind of touches well, no, doesn't kind of touch. She lays her hand very gently, very lightly on Natalia's cheek. Um First just
Uh,
kind of strokes one cheek with her knuckles and then like with the same hand just moves it over to like just actually cup her cheek, the opposite cheek with her palm.
hmm.
Even among entirely normal people, anyone with power, that sort of commitment is incredibly rare.
She almost blushes as she can't. You can
Mm-hmm.
feel as you touch her that she becomes a lot warmer all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
and she just smiles. You know, that sort of flattery is normally something I hate, but
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it as flattery. I have a lot of experience with people in power.
she kind of just puts a hand on your hand to hold it on her cheek, and she just says, "No, it's quite alright. I actually need to hear it. It's good to hear that someone appreciates what you do.
Hmm.
Actually, it's one of the first people, and that's probably why I like you so much. That actually says that I'm doing good. So, thanks.
You are doing good. I wish I knew how to help you. I imagine it's not easy.
Well, this is a start. And she will just lean in and she will just like hug her and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of just put her head, just put her head next to yours, like almost kind of lie into you or something. Just,
Mm-hmm.
just lie there for a moment.
Yeah, she's just gonna wrap her arms around Natalia and just hold her. Thank you for reaching out tonight.
I don't know if it's just me. It's so fucked up. Like, part of me is still like screaming idiot at myself because part of me, I don't know if it's just being what I am, but part of me is just paranoid that you're going to do something in a moment. But
No, the opposite. If I was being as cool and calm and calculating and heartless as I possibly could be, you would still be someone to protect. And not because I don't think you can protect yourself. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you have been.
It means a lot. And like there will be like a little bit of shift. She's still lying there. She just you hear a word that you don't understand unless you speak Ukrainian
She does not.
or Russian. Well, it's actually not the same, but you'll just hear a little bit of something. It doesn't. It sounds almost like a slur or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she just has a smile on her face. She doesn't say anything else at this point.
Rebecca's just gonna hold her for a little while. Just kind of comfortable and gentle. And after a minute, she gives her a squeeze and kind of starts to sit up. Well, is there anything else you want to know?
Like, was there something? Is there something you can like do or something that maybe was there something that tipped you off as to what I well who I was, what I was? Like, do you have anything that like I don't know makes you different? You know, is there like things you see, hear, feel? You're
Sometimes. It's not consistent. Sometimes I know things. I don't think that there are many people like me. I've met maybe one, maybe two, like me. It's not much of a superpower, knowing things.
oh, it can be one of the best.
It can, I guess, if you handle it right.
Exactly.
If you ever need something known, let me know. Let's see what I can find out.
Hmm. I might. That reminds me. Would you be up for coming for a concert at some point in the future?
You should definitely roll perception empathy. Oh, real hard.
Perception empathy, you say? Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Does not have a bucket of dice for it, but she has some. I'll roll it. I actually have 3 successes.
She has 4, despite the ones. Um, yeah, she has 4 successes. I should probably increase the diff on that. Oh shit, hang on, just sec. I am totally cheating. Just sec. I forgot to roll her nightmares. I might have to re-roll that. 1 second.
Concerts are fine. Everything is fine.
Okay, so diff 6. Where'd it go? It's probably fine. Okay. She passes her nightmares. Anyway, so when you say concerts, when you say a concert, there's a little bit of a twitch there. And she says, what kind of concert?
I'm putting on a thing.
There won't be any. You wouldn't invite me to something that ended up with people dying, would you? Even if you didn't think I'd see it?
She kind of just sits up and just looks at you like she almost like puts her arms out like, what did we start this evening off with?
Even if it wasn't your fault. Even if it wasn't.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. You asked me a question and I said no, of course not. Who do you think you're talking to? So when I invite you to something, what on earth? Wait, like how would you think? Oh yeah, I'm totally going to arrange something or get you to something where like why would I? She kind of just looks at you a little bit puzzled. Not she's angry. She's just like, doesn't make any sense. Like, just logically, why would I invite you to any? Why would I even tolerate something like that being there?
Rebecca actually reaches up and kind of presses on her eyes, like she's trying to keep from wrecking her mascara by crying. That's what I needed to hear and didn't know that I needed to hear.
Hmm. Natalia just calms down, or not calms down, but kind of eases off, and she says, "Oh, um, okay. Um,
Anyway, I
no. You definitely don't want to talk about it, but an open invitation.
thank you.
Um,
Maybe we'll see how I feel. If I if I decline, it is nothing to do with you, no personal slight. I recently had a lapse in judgment that will stay with me for some time.
hmm. That sounds really, really bad.
I think 2 people died. I think 2 people died. I don't have proof.
You can't save them all. I know that sounds harsh, but that's what I've been having to tell myself. But in this world, with this, all of this going on, all of the people that you could easily kill, that you don't, that is people saved. You
There
can,
are not that many that I could easily kill.
well, look at it this way. You can try as hard as you might to change other people's actions, but in the end, if someone wants to do something and you try to stop them, you can't stop them constantly. If they really want to kill someone, they're going to, well, they're going to have an opportunity to do so. But what you can 100% control is yourself. Those are the people you can truly save.
I thought it would be like you described. Afterwards, the victim is A little blood loss. A little woozy, maybe. Doesn't remember something well.
I'm sorry, the what? What are we talking about?
When a vampire feeds. But I think they killed those people.
Do you know who they were?
No.
I could look into it, and I could figure it out.
I don't have pictures. I don't have proof. And no, thank you.
If you have suspicions and you have names or pictures of someone who does it, and you suspect them of killing people, you can come to me. I'll look into it.
What if you found them? What if there were several of them?
I would start by very politely asking what in the fuck they are thinking. And depending on certain things, I would try to have them reprimanded. Yeah, reprimanded.
I didn't know that I was watching. I couldn't. I don't think that I could have stopped them if they realized that I was watching. Keeping my head down is not. That's what I've always done. I'm trying not to do. But I think if I put my head up here, that I will almost certainly lose it. So I won't come to you unless I'm very, very sure. Not sure of you, but sure of who I'm talking about, and that they won't be able to trace it back to me somehow.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for your offer. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I'm going to try to affect as many people as possible not to go around doing avoidable, really, really stupid shit. So, yeah, obviously. But, I mean, hey.
If I can help, let me know.
Natalia just looks at you for a moment, just turns her head, and just, again, just kind of has a smile on her face and just shakes her head. No, not at the moment. You can tell that she's thinking about something, but she's not mentioning it.
She can tell that she's thinking about something?
Yeah, there's something going on with Natalia, but she seems to be quite happy, quite relaxed. But there's something to the question if there's anything I can do. There's just something there.
She kind of holds Natalia's like gaze for a little bit longer than usual, kind of searching her face to let her know that she sees that there's something that's not being said. And just as if you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really stupid, but yeah, no, it's fine. I've learned to not do. It's really fine. It's really okay. It's not a problem.
You're starting to make me curious.
Yeah, it's really stupid, and I really should be, growing up, so to say. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's really, yeah, really stupid, and will have, unforeseen consequences, and be really stupid. But it'd probably be one of the dumbest things I could do. But
Oh, that sounds very serious. I'm not quite sure what to say, but
yeah, I just don't get the vibe from you, so don't think of it. It's fine.
oh, oh, you meant romance.
Hmm. Well, kind of. I was just thinking of staying the night, honestly, but well, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, my usual self is just like, fooling around. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I've learned it is always a big deal. But
And you're right. You're not getting the vibe from me. Not because you aren't a beautiful woman. You are a beautiful woman. It's just not something that I think
yeah,
about much.
it's a damn shame. But oh well.
Thank you. I will take that as a compliment.
Well, you can take it as a compliment and as a thing that you mean a lot to me. However stupid that might be, given the fact of danger that we're both putting ourselves in, and the high risks and the betrayal and the constant talk of not killing people. Killing people is a bad thing, really bad thing. We should do it. It should be obvious. And all of the other horrifying aspects of our existence. But I do appreciate your company.
I hadn't thought of it quite like that, but hmm, you are correct. That is beyond weird.
Hmm.
In unique ways. I wonder if that explains a little more about Max. I suspect he doesn't get to have that conversation very often.
He doesn't get to have what conversation?
Conversations about why it's bad to kill people.
Oh, it doesn't. Well, we have it. We've had it a couple of times, actually, but he's a survivor. That's the same as me, but does what he has to do. That's the way he sees it. To survive. He'll probably make it. Well, if we had the same situation, I do believe that he would do better than me, but, well, I'll die a happy woman, I suppose. Or, again, I will die again a happy person, knowing that I was weaker, but a better person. But, yeah.
Better is. There are lots of different ways to be better.
Oh, yeah, hey, she just, again, has a cocky smile on her face. She says, doing it every night.
Amazingly enough, yes, you are.
Hey, I might still have my influence on Max.
Max, Max could have behaved very differently. None of this has happened at all like I thought it would.
It rarely does.
Well, if that ain't the truth, you are absolutely right. It's rare that it happens better than you thought it would. Yes?
Quite.
And I do not mean to waste any time being ungrateful. I am infinitely grateful to not be dead right now.
Um, you are welcome.
I wouldn't know how to answer that either, really.
It's yeah, that's relieving, I suppose.
Thank you for everything, for this very strange conversation, which I have thoroughly enjoyed.
Right. I mean, part of the reason I haven't been forthcoming or taking contact is I have a lot of fucking things on my plate. I've just gotten a new job, I suppose. Well, more of a job to do, so just letting you know that might be that I can't hang out as much as I used to. That's also part of it.
She nods.
But yeah, I do appreciate it.
I won't be offended, but I am glad to know that there was something keeping us apart, and I hope that there isn't any more. I have very busy friends. It's not unusual that someone just kind of drops off the radar, and I try to respect people's need for space or whatever. But it's always nice when the problem is solved.
Well, let's just say that if I want, like, if I'm going hostile on you and I'm going to, like, seriously attack you, trust me, you will know.
She swallows pretty hard and nods.
And, like, you'll probably be like, what the fuck, you're doing, you're going to pay, blah, blah, blah. You know, when I first get pissed off, I am rather impulsive, so you'll know. Just, like, I might calm down and then everything is fine, but, you know, just ask some of my ex-boyfriends. Some of them who cheated on me, like, and don't, this was before, all of this. Uh, Things happen and I kind of just act. So please don't. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like you don't have to worry about it that much.
She nods.
No, it's not a threat or anything. Don't be nervous or anything. I'm trying to make light of conversation, but apparently not. So.
I understand, what you are trying to say, and I appreciate it. I'm surprised and grateful again.
Well, you are welcome. And, yeah. She looks at her phone. I really should be going soon.
Of course. Thank you. I won't keep you. If you need anything, call me.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be in touch if anything. But yeah, I'll see you later.
Have
And
a good night.
yeah, and she will just, say goodbye and collect her things, and soon she will be leaving the apartment.
House? It's a house. It's
Or
big.
it's a house, so she'll leave the house, and
She gives
soon
her a hug
after
on the way out.
she's probably getting a taxi.
Mhm. Yeah, she gives her a hug on the way out and just kind of watches her go. She asks for, she would have suggested probably the last time you're here that Natalia come to the back door, and when they got home, she would have, the previous taxi, she would actually have had them go around to the alley so that they could come in the back door instead of the front door.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. Well, then Natalia will. She'll go out the back door, and she will go she'll go a ways off. Like she'll go a bit ways away before
mhm.
calling an Uber. So.
Okay, okay.
Mm,
Rebecca watches her go and then goes back to her night.
and with that, the scene will come to a close. Thank you very much, players, for playing and watchers for watching. Good night.